Now from SRV Studios, Mr. Craig Thatcher.
Sorry, baby, you'll have to go. Well, you've been messing around. Seems I'm the very last to know. Goodbye, baby. Sure gonna miss you when you're gone. To find me a new love, one who won't treat me so very wrong. I bought you a new house up on a hill. If only you'd be true to me, we'd be living and loving there still. But baby, baby, you know I miss you now that you're gone. Trying to find a true love, one who won't treat me so very wrong. It's over, you're in the past. Now I'm on a prowl again, looking for love that's gonna last. Baby, baby, you know I miss you when I'm alone. Never forgive you for breaking up our happy home.
Good evening, folks, and welcome back to the Schuylkill River Valley and Sidetrack Sunday. This is STS number 1 for July 2023. It's great to see everybody here, especially since it's a holiday weekend. I wasn't sure if anybody was going to show up. I thought I was going to be sitting here talking to myself. So let's say hello to a few people here. All right. Well, it's already. I think Daryl was the first one in. Good to see you, Daryl. Then came Lynn. Always good to see you, Lynn. I see Mom and Son Train Rail fans. Tammy and Ray are here. Good to see you, folks. Hope you're well. And Tim from They Make It Like That. Good to see you, Tim. Ray Burleson was here. Let's see. Ray Burleson's here. Good to see you, Ray. Tony from Chilberton Junction. Good to see you, Tony. Glad you could make it. I know it's kind of late for you. Joe Rader. Good to see you. Dwayne's Fork and Spoon. Good to see you, Dwayne. Appreciate you making it in. Let's see who else here. Paul from the C&NW Modavi line. Good to see you, Paul. Let's see who else here. Heath. Heath was having some YouTube problems. I hope they cleared up, Heath. Good to see you. Glad you can make it. Dwight Curley. He only came for the music, so I'm guessing Dwight left. Glad you can make it, Dwight. Let's see. Trackside Mike's here. Good to see you, Mike. Thomas from Split Rock. Good to see you, Thomas. Let's see. I knew you'd figure it out, Heath. Let's see. Here is Bob from the PK&W Model Works. Good to see you, Bob. Glad you could make it. So Heath had you looking for the bar, huh? Yeah, well, you can count on Heath to throw a wrench into things there, Lynn. Anthony Dodge, the model train outsider. Good to see you, Anthony. Ray Boble. Good to see you, Ray. I did get your message, but I was busy talking, so I knew you would figure it out. Let's see, who else is here? Oh, Anthony Jordan Sunbelt. Good to see you, Anthony. Mark from M&M Rails. Glad you can make it in, Mark. I think I missed somebody. Somebody said hello to Weber Model Railroad. I don't see him, but good to see you, Lance. Glad you can make it. There's Weber Model Railroad. All right, so I hope everyone's doing well tonight. I think I got caught up with the hellos. If I missed anybody, I certainly apologize. You can throw things at me. Well, let's see, Heath. 69% of the votes so far don't have any faith in me finishing the diorama tonight, so I guess we're going to have to wait and see. There's Les from We, Us, and Company Railroad. Good to see you, Les. And Chris from Go Via or Go Home. Go Via or Go Home. Glad you can make it, Chris. Let's say, hey, and Rusty from Possum Bayou. Glad you can make it, Rusty. Good to see you, man. So before we get to the diorama, I got a couple more stickers in. From what I hear from my staff, I got a bunch more stickers at the office, but I took a really long weekend, so I haven't been there. So I will pick them up just as soon as I make it back down that way. But first up is from Stephen at Wigwag Workshop. Cool sticker. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate it. Although I don't think Stephen's here, he's probably setting off his fireworks tonight. And I also got some from Jim Tedesco. I got a bunch of stuff here from Jim. I got his Millennium County sticker, Millennium County Railroad sticker, the holographic one, which is really cool. I got the Short Line Thursday sticker. I got Jim's Millennium County card and his Wise Guy card from his Rumble channel. So very cool, Jim. Thank you. I appreciate it. And Rusty's daughter made him a Possum Bayou logo. That's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that, Rusty. So like I said, I understand I have a bunch more stickers, but I won't see them until I wander back into the office. Let's see. Okay. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Okay, so let's see. Now the poll is up to 72%. Don't think I was going to finish it tonight. I mean, it's only been what, 17? This is part 17, and the diorama was halfway done when I started. So I guess I can understand the lack of faith. Hey, there's Ray. I'm sorry, Roy. Container Man 68. Good to see you, Roy. Glad you could stop in, man. So, if you folks will give me a second to get the diorama over here and get set up, I'll be right back, and we'll see how far I got. So I will be right with you. Okay, I'm back, and I see Dennis from Otter Creek and Rio Grande stopped in. Good to see you, Dennis. I'm not sure if they're pessimists or they've just come to know me. And Bob, let's see here. Bob says you don't want to see the series end. Well, when this one does, I will have another one, I'm sure. In fact, I have a couple of dioramas in mind for the next series. That's the way to do it, Anthony. All right, so let's see here what we got. Let me get you caught up with what I've been doing so far. Let's see, let me get a better light here. I know you folks are Union. I know you folks are not going to be able to see any of this, but I did 3D print and installed some tie-down cleats for the boat. In fact, I have a picture of it here. You know, Dennis, it's this cheap camera. I tried cleaning it last month, and it didn't help. So I just need a new camera. This is really a piece of junk. So anyhow, this is what these tiny little tie-down clamps look like. That's the 3D model, of course, that I used to 3D print them. They look pretty good, especially in the model, but they are really tiny, and they were a pain in the neck to actually get on the boat. There's Cousin Vinny, BNSF 6951. Good to see you, Vin. Glad you could make it in. Okay, so I also, and you're not going to be able to see this either, I know, but I also did get the windshield here for the boat. And Dennis, I need a better pointer, Dennis. I'm gonna come up with one for next week. What is the curve radius going in on the right? Let's see. I'm guessing you mean here. I have absolutely no idea. I didn't try to get any particular curve radius. Just what would fit on the diorama. There's Dave from Crooked River in Eastern. Good to see you, Dave. And Sparky 107. Good to see you, Sparky. So I did get the, like I said, the windshield here on the boat. I was planning on using fake fingernails, and I was at the dollar store a week or so ago with my little girl, and I said, "Hey, this is perfect, kid. You can help me." I said, "I'm looking for some fake fingernails." Well, the look on her face was priceless. It was well worth it. I think I aged her a little bit, but that's fine because over the years she certainly aged me a few times. So I don't feel bad. It was just payback. Let's see. What's taking me so long? I'm just trying to drag it out, Tim. Then I don't have to come up with something new each month. Okay, so I did get the boat done. What else did I get done here? Is that it? Nah, come on. I must have done something else. Okay, well, I guess that's all that I got on here. I do have some more 3D printed parts, detail parts here. Let's see. These are freshly printed. I finished printing them up late last night, so they're not painted yet. But I have, they're just primed at this point. I have a couple of, let's see. Yes, Bob, I thought that's what I said. Yes, it's a tie-down cleat. And yes, they're just extremely tiny. Thank you, Vinny. I appreciate that, man. A couple, which you probably can't see very well here. That camera's not going to help. That camera's a piece of junk. Weber, Lance, I know, yes, you have been gone a long time. It's good to see you back, man. No, Jason's not doing this project with me. It's all me. It's actually a project that I started when I decided to build when I decided to build my layout. I had to get the room ready for the layout, and I was chomping at the bit to do some modeling. So I had this old Polar bridge that somebody gave me, and I decided to make a diorama out of it. So I worked on it for a few months while I was getting the room ready, and then I started working on the layout. So I put this to the side, and I didn't touch it for a while until I decided to do it on Sidetrack Sunday. I figured this would be a good topic for the show. Pappy, good to see you, man. Glad you could make it in. So the 55-gallon drums, they're probably just going to sit here on the by the control booth. They're holding some indeterminate lubricants, I'm sure. And they will get painted. I also have an open 55-gallon drum I designed and printed, and that'll sit down here someplace as a trash can. I printed this really delicate, let me move the thing here a little bit, see if you can get a better view here. This really delicate little trailer for the boat, which again, I'm real sure you folks aren't going to be able to see all that well. Well, that's not too bad, I guess. Is that helping? There we go. So, that'd be lots of overtime sitting there waiting, Thomas. So I got him printed and primed. What are the white things? Oh, these things. They look white because of this light. They're actually the same green color as the bridge. They are diamond plate sheets of diamond plate that I designed and printed for the crews to be able to walk along the bridge. The bridge came with fake wooden planks, which really looked pretty pathetic. So I decided to go with the diamond plate. So I designed them and 3D printed them. And I also have trailers are not much to them in reality, so be a harder print. Yeah, exactly. And it's very very fine, very fine. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. So I do have printed up a Jeep here for the guy to pull his trailer and his boat. Again, not painted yet, but primed. And as we speak, I'm printing a car for the guy in the control booth, but that's not going to be done until after the show. So, are we there yet? Well, I was planning on calling this done tonight, even though it wasn't going to be completely done. I'm not going to touch that, right? And really, I wasn't worried, Anthony. I don't take Thomas seriously. I don't think most of us do. So where was I? I was planning on calling this done tonight. Simply because, hey, there's Corey. Good to see you, Corey. Simply because I was thinking all week long that the only thing left to do is to put the fishermen. I've got. Can you see? You can't see. There's a fish coming up out of the river here, and there will be a fisherman here on the shoal he's pulling the fish out. But I don't have any fishermen. Oh, thank you, Lance. I appreciate it, man. But I went through my people, and I don't have anything appropriate for a fisherman. So I'm gonna have to look for a fisherman. And I need a nice, attractive, bikini-clad young lady driving the boat, and I don't have any of them either. So, and the only other thing left to do, and again, this was planned to be the very last thing, is I do have a large deciduous tree that comes up right about, oh, you can't see where I am. Now you must have heard somebody else. Heath, I did not say I was done. You know, Pappy, I don't know. I originally planned on just using it for, take some pictures, that sort of thing. But I'm not sure. We'll see. Mini prints is definitely a possibility. I've been looking, trying to find some. That's my thinking, Thomas. I've been trying to find some decent models online. I found a couple. So I might try to 3D print them. If not, I will definitely look at mini prints. I'm pretty sure he has a fisherman, and I'd be surprised if he doesn't have a girl that You're going to send me your boat girl, huh, Darryl? All right, sounds good, man. I'm sure that he probably has something appropriate. But the tall deciduous tree that sits that will sit right in here. It's got an arm that yeah, Poppy. That's kind of what I was planning on from the beginning. It would be pretty cool for photos, but my grandson has been kind of looking at it and drooling every time he sees it, so I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up giving it to him. But that's all right. He's a good kid. But the tree has a good arm, big long arm that sticks out over here. That I'm going to intend to hang a tire swing from, and I 3D printed a couple tires here, which you're not seeing very well. But again, I don't have a kid to go swinging on the tire swing, so I was planning on calling it done because that's just some minor details. Tonight I'm going to weather the diamond plate here because on camera you can't see that it's diamond plate, but in person you can definitely see that. But I'm still going to call it done. But just today I made a discovery that I never ballasted the track on either side of the bridge, and something that I just slipped my mind completely, and I didn't even realize it until today. So I'm still going to call it done. I do intend to finish it. Yes, I said it again, Heath, but I said I'm calling it done. John 2618, good to see you, John, and thank you, sir. I do intend to finish it, and I will be doing a proper reveal video when it's finished. I won't do that live because this camera setup just doesn't give you a decent view of this at all. So it'll probably be just a video or maybe a premiere. And Thomas Grassy, what type of 3D printer I'm using? This is just it's a small, cheap 3D printer I picked up. It's I have a Creality filament printer, but I was kind of tossing whether I was kind of tossing around whether I was going to get a resin printer or not. And the store where I buy all my computer equipment, they've been getting into all sorts of maker stuff, 3D printers and Cricut machines and all that sort of thing. So they had this printer for sale. I paid like $85 for it. They were regularly selling it. I think it was $150. It's a Creality. It's an LD002R, I believe. It's not. It doesn't have the best resolution. It's 2K and not 4K. Yep, you're absolutely right, Corey. Ron Mullen, good to see you, man. And you're absolutely right. It's never finished. So it's a small printer, and it's only 2K, and it's a relatively slow printer. But for $85, I couldn't pass it up, so I decided to give it a shot. And I will be getting a bigger and better printer. Probably not too far down the line. But this is what I have for now. So what I have here are some. Who is this? This is Tamiya. Some Tamiya weathering powders. The Then I'm just going to weather up the diamond plate here a little bit. A couple of spots. Where am I? Lost my pointer. A couple of spots I added a little bit of rust here and there. Not quite as much rust as I put on the bridge itself, but this to me kit comes with a mud colored powder, so I think that's what I'm going to try. And I am thinking that you might actually be able to see this. This has been a 3-year project. Not sure how you're going to top this for next month. I can start another project. Sparky. Wrong guy. So I'm just going to hit this. I don't know. That might be helping you a little bit. It's kind of a shame. I got to get a better camera because people are saying the model looks good, but it looks so much better in real life. Yes, it does look like ladies' makeup, but can you see that? It does say Tamiya Weathering Master. Not that I'd be averse to using makeup, but seeing the look on my little girl's face when I asked for the fingernails, I don't think I'll ask her to help me buy makeup. So this kit comes with several colors, sand, light sand, and mud. That's the mud that I put on here. Let's see. Sand is a little bit too light. Can I see this in October, John, too, in person? You know what, Sparky? If I'm able to make it down there in October to Timonium, I'm assuming you're talking about, I'll be happy to bring it down with me. So yeah, and I do hope to be able to make it. I'm planning on making it next April because Wilmer and Robert are planning on making that an annual thing, so I would love to get down there and see them. But I would also like to get down there in October. Like to see Sparky and the rest of the guys that show up. So I don't know. I guess it's helping a little bit. Yes, Sparky, you do. You pass within about 1.5 miles, 2 miles as the crow flies, and maybe about 4 miles driving from my house. So yeah, I mean, you could see it then, or if you can't stop, I'd be happy to meet you for lunch someplace, and I'll bring it with me then. Hey, there's Robert from Flying Crow. Good to see you, Robert. I was just talking about you. Your ears must have been burning. I was just saying I'm planning on making it to Timonium in April when you and Wilmer make that your regular thing. So hopefully. So I don't know. I guess it's showing up a little bit better. This is really disappointing. I mean, some of it has to do with my lighting. Maybe I'll try toning that down a little bit. I might try turning this off, but then no, and then I can't see. So I guess that helped a little bit. Robert is busy repainting all his KCS engines. Yeah, that would be good, Robert. I'd love to. Well, I'd certainly like to see Wilmer again. It's been a while since I've seen Wilmer, and I'd love to meet you and anybody else that that happens to come by. See Ray. Get a chance to meet Joe and Anthony if he can make it up. That would be cool. So I do have a couple ideas for the next diorama. I'm not going to give away any hints yet, because if I did, I know which of the two choices you guys would go for. But we'll see. It may involve, I'll say this much, it may involve Brian's Diner kit with a few upgrades to it. Or it could involve another bridge. If I do the other bridge, it would be a much more involved project, but a lot cooler too. So we'll see. Oh, thank you, Bob. I'm glad that you can see it a little bit better. Like I said, I am going to do a proper reveal video once I get the people and my tree in place, and I'll use my good camera for that, and I'll take it outside and we'll get some good lighting and some real good pictures of it, because this is kind of disappointing. And I think for the next series I will try to come up with some better lighting or better cameras or something. Another bridge would be a bridge too far. Actually, if I do another bridge, I'll say this much. It's one that Ray would really like. Sparky, I noticed you haven't been posting much. Good to see you. Good to see you stopping in. I appreciate it. Could have 200 episodes. The other bridge, if I'm planning on it, could be pretty close. Couple things up to 74% now. Well, I mean, it doesn't really count now because I've already admitted to what I don't have finished. An HO scale space shuttle. Now, how big is that, Lynn? Yeah, you're right, Thomas. Ray likes dam bridges. This wouldn't exactly be a dam bridge, but it would be based on something pretty close, something Ray may have actually seen. You said it was done at 74%, and people still don't believe me. Yeah, that's saying a lot right there, Heath. Well, you could have lurked, Anthony. You would have just been lurking from a different continent. Space shuttle could be 3 feet tall. Okay. Okay, Lynn says it's around 2 feet tall. Wow. Lynn, was that a kit, or did somebody scratch build that? Let's see. Well, Sparky, the GoPro did work. That was a decent up session this afternoon. Actually, Anthony, I don't blame you. If I was on vacation in Europe, I wouldn't have been worrying about YouTube either. All right. Now, I did want to take some of the sand color here. Hey, John 7, good to see you, man. And no worries, being late, that's cool. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you making it in at all. Maybe use this color, see. Oh, well. That was a good thought, but my ground cover is already the same color as this weathering powder, so it's not showing up. So, I guess we'll call it good there. So let's see. What do I have left to do on this? I have to put some windows in the window, some glass in the windows of the control tower. I'm going to be using that Model Masters, I forget what they call it. Well, Robert, there's not all that many that have numbers. Only a few of us. So let's see. So I have to put glass in all the windows. I'm going to use the Model Masters, whatever they call that stuff. I don't know. I have to finish my staircase. I want to add some railings to it. I'm not sure whether I'm just going to reprint it or add the railings with some brass wire. I do have the brass wire, so that might be the easiest way to go. Papa John Trains, good to see you, John. Glad you could make it in, man. I have to paint the 55-gallon drums and glue them in place. Paint the Jeep and the trailer. Canopy glue, that's the word. Thank you, Sparky. Excuse me. Paint the Jeep, finish the car, switch the view, Robert, to you switch the view to me and the bridge. This, Anthony, Anthony, this is the only view of me and the bridge you can get. Unfortunately, well, I don't think you can see the bridge from here. Maybe if I hold it up a little bit, you get a little bit better view here. Let me get this light out of the way. No problem, Anthony. I knew what you meant. I've been called a lot worse than Robert. So, okay, there's the Jeep and the trailer. All right. That's giving you a little bit better perspective here. Okay, there you can see the, you can see the fish jumping out of the water. He's actually going to be pulled out by a fisherman. And let's see here. There we go. No, unfortunately, not the angle I have. I have it on, Anthony. The Jeep and the trailer aren't glued down yet, and I lost the 55-gallon drum. So let's see. There's the boat. You can sort of see the little tie-down cleats there. This will. I'm still going to do. Thank you, Darryl. Still going to do a proper final reveal. Something that you'll actually be able to see here. Let me move that. Let's get these two guys. No repair, Sparky. I lost my 55-gallon drum. But I have more of them, so that's not a big deal. Okay, now we have 2 more shows to go for repairs. Let's see, what was that, John? It just needs lighting. I agree, John. The lighting that I have here is just, it's not playing well with this camera. It's the camera is really the problem. I'll have to see what I can do about that. I'm sure there were a few there, Thomas. But I was only lifting it about 6 inches off the desk, so it wouldn't have gone too far. So other than that, the only thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the trees a little bit. I do need to get a new airbrush, though. My airbrush is not playing too well. But like I said, I'm going to do a proper reveal. I'll get it outside with my good camera and some good lighting, and hopefully it'll do a little bit better job of showing you what this looks like, because I'm pretty happy with it, but I'm not happy with what I'm seeing on the camera either. So that's where we stand with this. Hey, Scott from Waycross Train Spotter, good to see you, man. Hairbrush, yeah. I don't really need a hairbrush much anymore, Sparky. A wash rag will do it for me. No, an airbrush. Cool, right? Yeah, there's like I said, there's just a few more details. I planned on not having everything done because I don't have the people. But I will get them and get the rest of it finished and get a proper reveal video out, like I've said about 4 times already now, and start planning on a diorama for the next series. Like I said, I have a few things in mind, but I'm not really sure what I'm going to end up with yet. It'll probably involve more 3D printing. So what are the future projects for STS? Well, like I said, I have another. My STS is I'm gonna be working on another diorama. It could involve, like I said, Brian's from the Iron Horse Roots, his diner model, which I have some upgrades for. So I think that would be pretty decent diorama to do. That one wouldn't take anywhere near 17 episodes, though. That one should go pretty quickly. But I might work on this other bridge. That will be much more involved. There will be some automation involved in that if I decide to do it, and that will actually be most likely be a scratch built bridge, as opposed to this one where I started with the kit here and just hacked apart the kit and threw most of it away. Actually, well, not most of it. I threw the big crank wheel that supposedly raised and lowered the bridge. What have you learned from making this? What would I do differently? I don't know. I liked how the water came out, although I'm not entirely certain I would do it that way again. I like the look of poured water better than this. Thank you, Vinny. You too, my friend. Stay safe and enjoy the holiday. Although, like I said, it did come out nice. Thank you, Pappy. You have a good night and happy 4th of July to you, sir. What would I do differently? You know, I don't know that I learned all that much that he would hold it steadier. There you go, John. I'm not sure that there's anything that I tried that I wasn't happy with. I'm happy with the way the trees came out. They're all trees that I built. I like my little which you can't see anymore, wild raspberry bushes. I'm real happy with the bridge abutments and the center support here for the control booth. That I poured out of plaster. So yes, I was real happy with that. What part was the most fun? What was the most frustrating? The most fun was probably kind of a toss between rusting up the bridge and actually doing the scenery. Scenery is definitely my favorite part of modeling, so I enjoyed that. What was the most frustrating? I think the river. This was that method that Marklund of Sweden uses with the toilet paper and the glue and the Mod Podge. And I had put several coats in, several layers in it, and from here you can see some depth in it. And then all of a sudden, when I put one of the layers of Mod Podge and glue on it, it just turned white, and it wouldn't dry. I mean, it dried. It was solid. I mean, it's definitely very hard. So that was frustrating. But I went back and painted it, and it turned out looking good. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm not. I don't think anything was really frustrating. Well, except that I just noticed the little guy in the control booth fell over. Not sure if I'm going to be able to get him sitting back up again. Well, we'll try. But no, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing it. And to answer Heath's question, yes, I would do it again live. In fact, I'm going to be switching over to another diorama for STS coming up. Hey, Robert, Darby Rail Services. Good to see you, man. So yeah, frustrating answering this question from you. What do you expect, Roy? It's from Heath, man. He must have been drinking and fell over. Yeah, that could be. He's sitting on a little stool that I scratch built out of just some basswood and like a really fat, excuse me, a really skinny wooden dowel, and it's just wasn't a sturdy enough base. So hopefully I'll be able to stand him back up, be able to reach in there with tweezers and stand him back up. Not that you can see him in there, so it doesn't really matter if I can't. No, I don't know that it just happened now, Anthony. It probably happened. I've moved this thing around quite a bit back and forth, so I'm quite sure I did it. And Thomas, absolutely, this was a lot of fun. Everything here was scraps. It was leftovers. The wood base was left over. The foam that I built up the ground with, that was scraps. The dirt is actual dirt from my backyard. So yeah, everything. I don't think I bought anything here except some paint and the resin for the resin printer for the few little things that I printed here, which probably cost me about 13 or 14 cents or something. So yes, I would definitely recommend it to new modelers. It's a lot of fun. You definitely learn what works and what doesn't work. There you go, John. Anthony, you owe me a sober bridge guy. I don't know that I would recommend. That depends, Sparky. If I do the diner, it would be for my layout. At least part of the diorama would be for the layout. I would have the diner removable so that I could drop it into the layout. If I do the bridge, that will not be for the layout. My layout wouldn't. The bridge that I have in mind would not be appropriate for my layout. Christmas gift, that could be. I mean, that definitely could be. No, I did mean resin. This is all. There's nothing filament printed on here, Thomas. Everything was resin printed. The diamond plates resin printed. The where'd you go? The Jeep. The little boat trailer, which you probably can't see at all. But yeah, everything. The windows for the control tower. The staircases, they were all resin printed. Hey, Johnny Railer, good to see you, man. Hope you're well. And let's see, and Dan's Model Rowing Journey, yes. If you're absolutely. That would be a good way to figure out what methods, what techniques you like. Like I said, this was all done out of scraps. It didn't cost me. Probably didn't cost me a total of $10 here for paint and stuff. I did buy the plaster, but we're talking about very, very little plaster. Oops. Can I explain my tree making steps? Yes. These trees, these are all fir trees, evergreens. They were made using a method I got from Luke Towan. The base is just skewers. I mean, not the base. The trunk is skewers, and I used what's it called? Coconut fiber mat. And if you haven't seen that, it's a round mat. They usually come about yo big, maybe an inch thick. and it's made out of coconut fiber. And yeah, I doubt if it's going to go on eBay, Heath. And they're made out of coconut fiber that's all like woven together, and it's used for in the the plant industry. It puts at the bottom of the pots to help with drainage. And what you do is you cut it up into small sections and then tease it apart till you get. I have some that are varying thicknesses, varying diameters to fill in the tree, and then they're just stuck onto the skewers and hit it with some spray glue, and then some paint, and I just used like a very dark, I forget what it's called, mocha black or something like that. Very, very, very dark colored to cover the coconut fiber and the skewer, and then just with some spray glue and a variety of flocks from Scenic Express, Woodland Scenics, whatever I picked up at train shows. And really that's all there is to that. Then I will go back, and I wanted to wait to do this until they were all in place, is I will go back with my airbrush and hit just a little bit of a lighter color, like mostly towards the tops of the trees here, just to simulate sunlight hitting the tops of the trees. It'll keep the tops of the trees a little bit brighter and the base of the trees a little bit darker. J-Rock does stuff. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you stopping in. The one thing, I like the fiber mat method, works well. Thank you, Corey. That's what I was having trouble spitting out. There is lining flower pots. Yes, that's it. The one thing that I will say about that, the method works well. The trees are really very sturdy. I've dropped them, and there's a couple I have back here that I've even stepped on, and they're still in good shape. But that coconut fiber mat is rough on the fingers. Once you cut it into the circles, you tease it apart. Actually, split it in half, so because it's much too thick as it comes. So you split it down into half or thirds, and tease it apart. And I sat here doing that. I made, I don't know, 24 trees, 30 trees or so one weekend, and I sat here that Friday night just teasing apart all these coconut fiber mat pieces so that I could make the trees in assembly line process. And my fingers, especially my thumb and index finger, the next day they were almost bleeding. They were so raw, they hurt so bad. I dropped everything I touched. So I might either try a different method, or at least a different method of teasing apart the coconut fiber mat, because I still have a bunch of coconut fiber mat left. And yes, John, there will be. I do have a dummy loco that I might just store on here semi-permanently. But my plan is to use it for photos. So really anything any loco, any piece of rolling stock that I have, mostly stuff that I have either scratch built or weathered up or something like that. Something that I want to show off. Okay, that's a thought. Jute would be a little bit more flexible, I would think. the carbon fiber mat's really stiff, and it holds its shape really well. That's right, Anthony. You want it expedited? It costs you. Oh, thank you, Sparky. It's getting there, and it will get there. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not really sure why 943 people are following me to start with. So I'm not complaining. So the sisal, I don't know. Back to Corey's comment. The sisal, I don't know what that is, and I've never even touched manila fiber, so I'm not really sure what how that would work. I love the way they work. It's just I have to find a better way of teasing them apart, because that really hurt. Let's see. A friend gave Jay an old 90s O-scale Lionel Safari train. Might tinker soon. That'd be cool, Jay. And 90s isn't that old. Almost all of my locomotives and rolling stock are from like the early 80s. I do have some going back a lot further than that. I have at least one engine going back into the 50s, and I have 3 of my father's O-scale locos from the 60s. So actually, so yep, you're right, John. At least in Pennsylvania, shipping is not taxed. That might not be the same for everywhere, though. Excuse me. So, folks, that's all I had for tonight. Like I said, I will be back with this for a final reveal once I get my people and the few little details done here. So I certainly appreciate you folks bearing with me here for 17 episodes of this, and I'll get planning on the next diorama for the upcoming STS, at least my upcoming STSs. So, folks, I appreciate you hanging out tonight. Thank you for stopping in and all your support. I really, really appreciate that. And I hope everybody has a happy and safe 4th of July. Thank you, John. Go out and have fun, but try not to blow any fingers off. I bridged the gap between Sundays. Thank you, Thomas, and thank you, Bob. And happy birthday to you, Sparky. To you too, Sparky. Hey, Ray Ron, good to see you, man. I didn't see you before. Glad you could stop in. I don't think we have quite that many Johns, John. So anybody, have a great holiday, and at least for those of us and on this side of the ocean, my father's sister, after her husband of 50 years or so passed away, she got remarried, and she married a guy from somewhere in the UK. I'm not really sure where. Judging with how difficult he is to understand, I would guess Wales. But a couple years ago, I emailed him to wish my aunt happy 4th of July, which, she responded in kind, but she told me that David, her husband, refuses to celebrate any holiday which commemorates, how did he put it, the violent uprising against a lawful monarch. So for those on the other side of the pond, apologies that we left, but wouldn't be surprised if you're actually happy that we did go. thank you, Roy. It would not go up. The guy that built the bridge originally, he glued it is geared, and he glued the gears together, and he must have used either the Plastruct or Mac or something, and pretty much melted most of the gears. I was able to get it apart, but because my first thought was going to be to automate it, to use an Arduino and have it go up and down. But the gears were in such horrible shape that it just would never have operated smoothly. So I just decided to make it a static model. Finger check before and after fireworks, Thomas. I've known people that have blown a few fingers off with them. So, all right, folks, have a great night and a great. I agree, Roy. That would have been it would have been a lot of fun to have it go up and down, but maybe if I had my resin printer when I started this, I might have tried it, but it just wouldn't have worked out. So, everybody, have a great holiday, and next week, if I'm not mistaken, should be Nissy. Heath has stepped down from the regular rotation, and Nissy is taking his spot. Randall, good to see you, man. No worries being late, but you got here just in time to say goodnight. So, folks, thank you for stopping in. Thank you for hanging out, and have a great night.